Hello, Greenwin residents. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sari, and I am taking you through a yoga flow today. So today's class is actually a preview into some programming that we're going to put out for you in January. And the month of January, the classes that I'm going to teach are to share with you what a restorative practice looks like. And for those of you who are super busy people and use kind of busyness to distract and have a hard time with just staying put and settling into your body and relaxing and unwinding, that certainly doesn't come very naturally to me. So this is a class and a type of program that I need to incorporate into my life at least once a week. And so every week in January, I'm going to share with you different restorative yoga practices that can help with sleep, for calming our nervous system, for starting your day off with more stillness, for helping you to sleep at night, and for just restoring the body, mind, and spirit. So this class will be a preview for that. So when we're doing restorative classes, we want to think about finding props and utilizing props to support our entire body. So there's not a lot of muscle engagement. It is completely engaging in the practice of letting go. And once again, that's something that doesn't come very naturally to us. It is a practice. So that's what we're going to explore, and we're going to start off doing it today. So I'm going to give you a few moments to grab some props around the house that you have to use for today's practice. So I have a blanket. Use any kind of blanket. You can use a towel as well. I have a bolster, but a couch cushion or a decorative pillow works great as well. And then I have some blocks here too. And so you can think of a practice like this as constructive rest. And so if you tuned in for a workout, I respect it and I get it. And you can consider this a workout, but for your spirit, giving yourself this gift of relaxation, for teaching your body to calm right down and to settle, because we all need a little bit of that. We need a little bit of that skill as well. So we're going to start off today's practice lying down. So if you have some props handy, you're going to take your couch cushion or your pillow, and you're just going to build it up a little bit. And you're going to come to lie down on your back. And many options with your lower body. You can extend your legs straight if that does not feel good in your low back. You can bend your knees. You can draw the knees wide, whatever allows you to completely release the support of your back into your prop. And the front of your body just has a chance to open and soften. And take a moment to arrive in your practice. And so letting go of where you came from and then where you are going after this. And if you feel like it's hard for you to settle, you want to open your eyes, you want to fidget, and you want to move, you can gently rest your hands on your belly, on your heart, one on each. And then start to take a few deep breaths. Invite stillness. So our body is present, our body is here. Our body is physically still. But now what we're doing is inviting the mind to get on the same page. And so if you're just coming from a busy day of calls or entertaining children or whatever it may be, just engaging in life, you're now asking yourself to do something different. So give yourself a break and consider that. Right? This is not like a turning on a light switch. think about this transition as using a dimmer. Using a dimmer to turn your energy inward, but you're turning the light on inside. Let's take 3 more very deep breaths. So if you have your hands on your body, breathe into your hands. We'll take another breath here together. And we'll just start to inhale the arms up. Just reawaken here. We're going to bring the feet down. We're going to shift our hips off to one side and then gently guide ourselves all the way up to sit. So let's start to open up the front of the body here. Now, if you have any knee issues, I'm going to give you some options. You can roll up your towel or your blanket, place it behind your knees or on your heels and sit back and see if that helps any knee flexion here. You can also bring a blanket or a towel in front of you and prop your knees on there. So we're going to start with our knees wide apart and just start to stretch our upper body, open up the front of the body. And I want you to be really easy and casual with this. So as I'm walking my hands back, I'm just going to open up the front of my body here. I'm going to move my props off to the side for a moment. And I'm sitting on my heels. I'm just taking my knees open. And I'm just allowing the front of my thighs just open up. So if this is a lot of work for you, just walking your hands back, you might stay here. This might be where you live, right up here. This may be quite enough, where you feel some openness in your hip flexors, you feel some openness in your thighs and your quadriceps. If that feels good, you may even want to come down onto the forearms. And if you're somewhere in between your palms and forearms, this is where you take blocks. Take your forearms behind you. Just relax your head. We're not here for too long because we're just starting to open up the body. We're breathing here, just softly opening. Yeah. One more breath. Very nice. So we're going to come on up now that we've opened up the front of the body in 2 different ways, completely lying back. And then this was a little bit more active, a little bit more stretchy in the front of the body. We're going to open up through the sides of the body. So I have my knees bent and they're just pointed off to one side. And I'm going to take a bolster here next to me. And I'm going to prop it up with a blanket. And I'm going to take one forearm just right here onto my prop, onto my little tower. And you can stay here. If you want it to be a little bit more active, you can reach your left arm all the way up. If you want it to be more passive, maybe even just drape your body over your tower and then bring your left arm up and over. And so now we're targeting our side ribs, right? Our torso, the left side of the spine, that space just above your left hip crest, right? That pointy part of your hip, right at the top, the tallest point of your hip. And then perhaps your shoulder and your tricep. And so we're just passively resting here, but we're inviting some space, some really beautiful, deep space into the sides of our body. You know, we forget sometimes that we are this 3-dimensional being, right? We're not just front and back, but we're also, there's sides to us, right? There's sides, different sides to all of us. And so as you relax here, just soften into your cushion. Just releasing any tension that you're feeling here in the left tricep, the shoulder. Right, so as you exhale, you can think about that release. Just one breath at a time, one step at a time. Just feeling more clarity within. So we linger and we take our time, right? Even though we have a finite amount of time right here in the practice, the restorative practice offers us the chance to really explore instead of constantly moving and distracting and busying ourselves. Because we can actually take the time to listen to our bodies. And that's what yoga is all about. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. I'm going to press my palms into the mat, into my tower of props, and then lift all the way up. I'm going to take my time as I switch to the other side. So I'm going to take my tower, build it, and then I'm going to switch my knees so they're facing my tower. Okay, so options here. My knees are facing the left. My tower is to the side of my left hip. Option 1, I'm just going to lean into my forearm here. You want to make sure that you're not putting any stretch or stress and strain on your left shoulder. If you are, you can come down right onto your left arm and lean here. So this might feel good to you. You want to stay a little bit more active and just extend the right side of the body, the right arm over to the left, and just soften through the shoulder. You'll just hang here. And then if you want to get a little bit deeper, become a little bit more passive, you can go all the way down. So restorative yoga doesn't mean that there is nothing going on inside, right? Sometimes you'll move into these restorative postures and you'll say, okay, nothing's happening, right? And maybe nothing is happening at first blush, meaning maybe you don't start to feel, quote unquote, anything. But here's what the restorative practice asks us. It asks us to just stay. To just stay and breathe. And just to listen in. When we are always moving, and trust me, I am a person that really loves practices that are very flowy and moving. But when I engage in this kind of practice and I ask myself to be still, this is when everything rises up, right? The truths, the pains. What am I holding on to, right? And I'm not just talking physically, right? What are we not seeing? What do we not want to see? And this helps to calm our nervous system. Let's stay here for another 5 breaths. Yeah, just relax into it. Notice if there's this tendency to want to leave. Maybe you have to coach yourself and say, just stay for another breath. And then stay for another breath. And that breath is the next breath. 1 more inhale. And 1 more exhale. Good. From here, we're going to roll all the way up. Good. And from here, we're going to come into this, I guess it's like a seated tree pose. So you're going to extend your left leg here, and we're going to take our props, and I'm going to bring them, hope you can see, my left leg is straight, my right knee is bent out to the side, and I'm going to bring my props just right in front of me. And you can take this left leg out, the extended leg out, as wide as you like, just depending on how you're feeling today. And here's the other option. You can build this tower up as tall as you like, but I want you to really lean in, right? It's just like you're giving in, you're letting go, you're just releasing. Now you can have your arms down on this tower, on your props. You can also hug your props and bring a cheek down. You can also bring a forehead down. So you decide what that looks like for you. But if you're, if there's a lot of stretch and a lot of strain and a lot of struggle, then it's fine, but we're just stepping out of the intention of rest, of restoring the body, right? There's a lot of struggle out there right now. It's not like we need to look for more struggle. And again, I think moving your body and building strength and flexibility, it is great for your nervous system, and so is deep rest. So you can move to the variation that works for you and just softening your body. So I'm not holding myself up. I'm just really heavy into my props. And here's the thing, you want it to feel good. You want to feel relaxed. You want to feel soft. So just start to let go. This helps to target the outer hips, the low back, upper back. Releasing your shoulders here. Notice where you're carrying the tension, and just soften. You can never have too many props in restorative yoga. So we're going to stay here for 3 breaths before we do the other side. And I just happen to have my right cheek down, looking towards my left leg, but you can have your head turn the other way. You can have your forehead down, whatever you'd like, whatever helps you to feel supported. That is the name of the game. 1 more breath. Good. And then from here, we're going to roll it all the way up. I'm going to keep my prop tower here. And then I'm going to extend my other leg. I already feel my whole nervous system drop. I've been teaching today, just some faster paced classes, and I just slid into a whole other mode right now, right? And we just did 3 or 4 poses. So noticing the effects of what we're doing will help you come back for more of it. Okay. So now this side might look a little bit different for your body. So be open to changing your prop tower here. Might have to take it in, might have to push it out a little. Maybe take your right leg a little bit wider, right? Just play with it. There's not just one exact position. For every body is different. And I'm just going to start to roll down here. And I think right now I might even prop up my palms, and I'm just going to look forward here. This feels comfortable for me. Once you choose the first position to hang out and relax, you can also change it. It can look a little bit different. So I'm just opening up through my low back, my upper back, and my outer left hip, right? The glutes. This is called the tensor fascia, right? That outer hip area carries a lot of stress and tension in there, and those muscles. So this is a great pose. Just start to release those outer hips and low back. Because once your outer hips start to release, your low back will start to soften, and vice versa. It's not just one thing that's tight. All of our muscles work in conjunction with one another. So when one part of the body is feeling tight, it's usually a combination of the surrounding muscles, some of the cousins, some of the nearby neighboring muscles. Okay, let's stay here for another 5 breaths. When I first started practicing yoga and I would go to a restorative class, whenever the teacher would say, we only have 3 more breaths in this pose, it's like, I sit up, I pay attention, like, okay, I can do that. Right? I can do 3 more breaths here. I can talk myself into that. Yeah. So let's talk ourselves into 1 more breath together. Good. Okay. Let's roll it all the way up. I got 2 more poses for you. So this pose is going to be about the low back. And you're going to build your tower up as tall as you can. Hopefully it's a little wider than my tower. And you're going to put your legs up on your tower. So your legs are at a 90-degree angle. And so what that does is helps to release your low back right into the earth. With your legs elevated, it also helps to reverse the blood flow. So we're on our legs, right, walking around all day long, right? Even if it's just from your office to the kitchen and back to the front door, to the laundry room, even if it's just around the block, right? We're on our legs. So just allowing all that blood flow to reverse back into the heart will help to revitalize the legs, right? Think about your whole body almost going through a wash right now. You can bring your arms down by your side. You can bring 1 palm to the heart, 1 palm to the belly. That's it. Just take a few moments to listen in. Let's stay for 5 more very slow breaths. One more last breath together. Okay. You're going to open your eyes, and if you have to, you can get up and grab your block or whatever you're using as a solid prop. But you're going to kick half of your tower off, And before we go into our final resting pose, we're going to do a little twist here. So we're going to place our prop, our solid prop, right between our inner knees, inner thighs, and we're going to let both legs roll to the left side of our mat. And we're going to extend our right arm out to the side. So nice and relaxed here. And what we're doing here with the block between the thighs is just stacking our muscles, stacking our bones on top of each other. You can think about it as putting your own Humpty Dumpty body back together again. And first, energetically, right? And you've set your legs up in a way that you are encouraging the muscles to move back into their original places where we function better, we move better, we feel more fluid in our movements and with more ease. So my right arm is extended to the right. You can also just reach your right arm up to the sky and maybe relax your left hand down on that right thigh. Again, there should be no struggle and almost no effort. That's why I have the prop here. If I didn't have the prop here, then I would just be pressing my left palm down and just forcing a bit of a stretch here, encouraging a stretch. But I'm just going to let my body do its thing. My intention is to restore it. And close the eyes. Sometimes we need to look at one thing to just focus our attention there and allow our energy to go there in order to help to calm the mind. And sometimes we need to physically shut the eyes. So notice what your tendencies are. Both are great. Stay here for another 2 breaths. And then as you release your arms down, you're just going to pick up the knees and you're going to go to the other side. I'm going to turn around, but you're going to let your knees just fall over to the right now. Move my prop tower. So if you don't have a block, that's fine too. You can put your pillow through the thighs or between the thighs. Anything that helps to just stack your bones, stack your muscles. If your left arm up and over the head doesn't feel good, just release it down. Maybe it feels good going out to the side. Place your body in a way that encourages you to relax. So you're not holding any part of your body up. You're just softening here. So we're just allowing the outer parts of the spine. There's some big muscles there just to release. So we rotate a lot in our upper body and our lower body a lot during the day, right? Whether it's turning around to pick something up, putting our seatbelts on, getting something out of the back seat, right? We do a lot of rotation during the day in our daily lives. And so we want to give these muscles a chance to just release tension here very passively. Notice how when you begin to enter the pose, there's this settling that happens at some point, hopefully. Right? As you continue to guide yourself or coach yourself into staying for a few more breaths. And some days that settling happens sooner, and sometimes it happens right near the end. And that's just today. Let's stay here 3 more breaths. Very slowly start to find your feet, and you're going to remove your prop and grab your bolster or your blanket, and you're going to place whatever cushion and support that you have underneath your knees here. You're going to take your legs wide apart. And you're going to come down for the final resting pose, which is Shavasana. And you're going to take a few moments here to feel the effects of actually resting your body and finding stillness with the intention to regenerate, with the intention to restore your natural energy. Whenever you're ready, you can close your eyes. Feel the support of the earth. Feel yourself just being cradled and held here. Let your breath be natural. And no effort is needed here. It is completely encompassing that state of being, which is a nice change from all the doing that we do. So if you can enjoy a few extra moments of quiet and stay in your resting pose, please do. Otherwise, just start to slowly stretch the arms up, bend the knees, soles of the feet come down. And you'll roll to one side here. Honoring your willingness to slow things down. And then just come back up to sit in any position that feels good for you. I really needed that. So thank you for allowing me to share this practice with you. I always say that I teach what I most need and what I most need to study. So thank you. We'll close with the palms together and thumbs to the heart center, a gesture of gratitude for this opportunity that we have in the Greenwin community to take care of ourselves. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your trust. Namaste.